So here we are again. It's Roose the Roader with Racks of Games Episode 2. And before we look at some games, I just want to mention that I uploaded the first video and I watched it beginning to end. And I took notes the entire way along. And I just want to point out a few observations I made. The first would be the video size. The video size was a little off. And after hours of work and then seeing that, I'm like, this sucks. I'm not letting the same dog bite me twice. So hopefully we got that fixed. The darkness. I did notice it was a little dark here, and yeah, it's a little spooky down here. Looks better now, but if not, hey, keeping it spooky. The next would be Action 52. I was saying that I couldn't think of any games to play on it. Well, there is Spidey, there is Ooze, Mousetraps, Haunted Hills, Cheetah Man, and Alien Attack. So there's a list of games that I'd probably play if I put it in. And, again, I could go on and on about that, and I won't. With Action 52, I also did find the box. It's all beat up. I didn't really want the box. It's cool to have. So, it's cool stuff. I'm a fan of it. It just happened to come with it, and then I also found the manual. They both came with the cartridge. So, yeah, Action 52, I went a little hard on it. I do like the Genesis version. It's just that it's, first of all, instead of 8, it's 16 bits, right? There's twice the bits. You had Farsight development in on it. So you had, twice the developers. They had the previous game to learn from. So there's twice the potential. Yet what they came out with was half the game of this. It's crazy. It's even worse than this one. And I just don't see how people think the Genesis is an improvement. What else? The 15-in-1, I did mention on this. I'm like, yeah, it says Contra. No, it's actually Mercs. I know that. Like I said, this is live and full on the first take, so I'm not always going to say everything I want to say. And then the game on that I forgot was the Hummer, which is like a Samari. Here's something quick about this, okay? These guys made Samari, the Hummer team. So, you think if there's a Hummer team multi-cart, and they have like one of their best games on here, that it would be the best version possible, right? What they did is they replaced Mario on it with their mascot, and it looks even worse. It's uglier. It's all gray and stuff. It's so badass. I love it. What else? And then the Super Adapter. Where's that at? I just wanted to mention, how I'm like, I've never even used this thing. Now that I think of it, I've never even opened this box before. I don't even know what's in there. I'm pretty sure it's the game, but hey. It's never been opened. That's it on the notes. So hey, let's go get started. I got 20 more games we're adding to the shelf. And we got to start sometime, so let's do it. Alright, I got 20 more games to add to the game shelf. And what I'm noticing about what I've picked here is some of it I have a lot to say. I could tell many stories about some of these games. And other ones I have almost nothing to say, so we'll see how this goes. Before we get started with the games I'm adding that are new, I should show that I'm adding another Sonic Blast. Hey, I really like the game. So, what should we start with? I'm thinking, because I mentioned Mercs earlier, and this is episode 2, how about a 2-in-1 Genesis multi-cart with Mercs on it? So, Pit Fighter's the other game, and, it's got kind of a bad reputation. Maybe it's not so bad in the arcade, but I played it with my girlfriend, 2-player. I thought it was really fun. We got to probably maybe the 3rd stage, 4th stage. It's fun. It's like a Fight Club kind of brawler thing. It's a lot of fun. The Super Nintendo, I do understand, though, how people say it sucks. Because the whole game, you get 1 health meter, 1 life. So it's pretty much impossible, as far as I can see. If that's true. I've owned it, but I've actually never played the SNES one. And then Mercs. This is such a fun game. It really is. And what's cool is when you put it in, there's two versions. There's the arcade version and then the console version. And they're both different. And what I've noticed about both is there's not enough credits to complete the game. It's like the people who ported it from the arcade forgot the console has no coin slot. Right? I can't insert coins into my Genesis and get more credits. It's all you get. And I can only get to about the third stage, which is a shame because I really like this game. And if it could have been better, I would have liked to see 2-player on it. That would have been awesome. I would have, if I have another person and we could go 2-player on Mercs, I'd be determined to beat it on the amount of credits you get. Because then it would be similar to Contra, where, it's very limited in lives. So 2-1, this came from Taiwan. Sega Genesis or Megadrive. I guess it would be Megadrive over there. So that's that. Next, we got a 4-in-1 multi-cart. This is cool. 1996. You got Street Fighter 2020, Golden Axe, which is actually like Astenix or Astenax or something. They just renamed it. Karnov, which it says Karnoi, and then there's Rambon 3. I have no idea what that means. It's good. I'm glad to have it. Not much else to say. It's a nice looking cartridge. I like the color of it. It's cool. And to me, it's just cool enough to have in my collection. So there's that. And speaking of Famicom stuff, how about this? 12-in-1. So, it was given to me as a gift. This was free, and it came in this plastic bubble wrap, and I'm like, hey, that's part of the package as far as I'm concerned. So I keep it in its package. And it's got this note here, 12-in-1 Zapper games, and then Osama bin Laden shooter. So there's a game in here, you're shooting Osama bin Laden, apparently. I don't know. I've actually never played this. I probably should, huh? You guys are probably thinking, why do I buy all these games and I haven't played a lot of them? Sometimes I just don't have the time. And then sometimes I've bought so many games at one time, I just haven't got to it. Next, let's see. How about this? Super 8-in-1 for the Game Boy. Speaking of never playing it, I don't think I've even tested this before. But you got the box. It's sealed, except the seal's been opened. And it's also missing the inside cardboard piece that kind of holds everything together. So it's the cartridge, the plastic case, the box, and the seal. So that's what's on it. True him. Heck yeah. So, looks like a fun lineup to me. I wouldn't mind playing it. So, we'll add that to the collection. I'm excited. We had some stuff fall over here. Ah, look at the one that fell. The Battle of Red Cliffs. This game is crazy. If you don't go into it being crazy, you'll come out of it being crazy. You guys know beat 'em ups, how you enter a screen, you fight a few enemies, and then it gives you the little arrow. It's like, go, go, go. You move over, you fight different enemies. This is like that, but it's like over and over and over, and it's the same enemies over and over and over and over and over. You getting annoyed yet? Yeah, that's what this game is like. I recommend trying it, but damn, it's frustrating. Just frustratingly repetitive. It's like Gods and Devils for the Famicom. That kind of repetitive. It's that bootleg. It's the unlicensed kind of frustrating. So, I will say though, the levels look nice. I will say the characters are fun. I think one has a bow and arrow you can shoot. But it's like a 2-player beat 'em up. And you know what? I highly suggest everyone tries it. If you can get your hands on it. I don't know where you'd find one. What else? This right here is one of my all-time favorite games, and it's the second game I can ever remember seeing in my life. The first game I ever saw in my life was when I lived in Hawaii as pretty much a baby. My dad and my mom had a little market, little place in a kind of outdoor mall, and their neighbor, the place was called the Fish Hut. And the guy's name was Dave, who ran the fish hut. So Dave, the fish hut guy, and my dad used to link their Game Boys up and play F1 race. That was the first time I ever remember seeing a video game. The second was this. This is one of my favorite games ever. And I haven't added anything yet to the top tier, like tier 1 on the shelf. This is definitely going to be there. There's no question about it. This is an amazing game, and it's extremely underrated, in my opinion. This is about as nostalgic as it gets for me. You start off in this tank, and then there's different tanks you have to fight. There's submarines when you get toward the middle end part. There's different routes you can go. There's airplanes you're shooting. This is such an epic adventure, and it has a map screen, so you can kind of map out your adventure. There's different tanks you have to fight, bosses you have to defeat. The bosses are interesting, and I love that freaking, like, the music. Once you enter a boss area, there's a couple different boss themes, and I love even more when the screen turns black and you have to it's just you and that boss. And it's intense, and it's cool, and there's just let's just put it this way, there's so many aspects that I should probably just move on. I love this game so much. Iron Tank, one of my favorite games of all time, one of the most influential experiences of my life. And it's affordable. I'm pretty sure you can get this under like $10. Heck, I went to the swap meet once looking for games, and they had some Nintendo games, and like 4 of them were that. It's very accessible. Let's see. How about these? Last time I included the 2 Brazilian multicarts as one. How about I do the same with these? These came from somewhere in Asia. I ordered them. I forget the country. It wasn't China or Japan or one of the larger nations. It was just some little place, and yeah, I saw them. I'm thinking, cool. Super 18-in-1 and 20-in-1. I forget if these were matched up. I think they were 2 separate sales, and I just ordered them at the same time. But yeah, there's the game list on them. There's a lot of good times there. Look at that alleyway tank. That's pretty cool. Mortal Kombat 3. Well, Street Fighter 2. I mean, yeah, and they're different. Like, and I just love how it's just 20-in-1, 18-in-1. I love multicarts, as you guys can tell. I'm a big fan. Ever since like Action 52, and then the Asda 20-in-1 and the Caltron 6-in-1, and you're just like, what else is there? How many more? And then there's the Tectoy 20 M1. And I've got 2 of those over there. That's, again, another video, though. These are just cool, and I've actually never played either of them. I just got them, I cased them up, and they've been sitting in a tub for years. Let's see. Then we got this. M.C Kids for the NES. And I remember the exact afternoon I got this. It was a freaking blizzard outside. Snowing like crazy. I rode my bike to the mall. I went to the game store and I bought this and World Games. And I just remember on the way back, I was listening to Gerald Celente in my headphones. Like, hell yeah, I like Trends Journal. Splashing around in the water. I'm getting all kind of muddy. And I just saw this and thought it looked cool. From what I had heard, it's kind of like Mario 3. So I took it home. We did World Games, and that's fun. I still play World Games to this day. This, though, I've only played this game one time in my entire life, and that's the first time I played it. We sat and we played this game for, I think we got to the 3rd or 4th stage, and it's good. It's a 2-player game. You know, you can sit with somebody and go on an adventure. The music's a little bubbly. It's kind of got that Quattro adventure kind of music. Or the Camerica sound, whatever you want to call it. But Virgin Games, maybe they have that going on too. That sound, I don't know, man. Shouldn't go there, but we played it, and then, you know, I like it. There were a couple frustrations. There are a couple parts where you get, like, blown back when you touch certain things, whatever. But here's the one frustration with this, and why I stopped eventually playing it, and I'm just like, I'm probably never going to play it again. First of all, it's a commitment. You're not going to sit down for 5 minutes and play this and go on to something else. Like, you'll sit for, what, 2 hours, seeing how far you can get. It's kind of like this, you know. If I play this, I'm going to try to play to the end if possible. I'm not going to rush that. If I'm going to rush a game real quick, and I'll get some first game from Action 52, you know. I'll do a quick race or something on Saturday Night Speedway. But the thing about this game that just irritates the fuck out of me is having to collect those, like, Ronald cards, like these cards I have to collect. I hate that shit, man. It pisses me off in a game. Because, like, to me, I like Mario, I like Sonic, how, you know, I start here, I end here. And there's different enemies and adventures along the way, but it's all about the destination. With this, there's a destination, but it's all about searching around and collecting shit. And a lot of places the stuff is hidden. It's just not always easy to find, and it's tedious. Sometimes you have to go back. One of my biggest game pet peeves is ever having to replay a stage because I didn't collect everything. I hate that. And I think the time that I first felt really burned by that was Spyro the Dragon, the very first one. I love that game. I had such a good time with it. And I got to the very end. It was Nasty North. He was just right behind that door, the final boss. I was ready to take him on and just be done with this game and feel fulfilled. No, it said, hey, you didn't collect all the jewels from all the stages from here and there, and you missed that. And I'm like, I gotta go back and play every level again? I'm like, no. And I haven't touched Spyro ever since. And that was 20 years ago. Anyways, M.C Kids, it's the same thing. I don't want to search. I don't have time to just search around and bullshit with cards. How about this? Sonic 3D. Wow, that's big. Sonic 3D Blast. This is for the Genesis. Complete in the box, or as complete as it gets. I'm assuming this was part of a lot somewhere. So it'd be on a shelf, and then this was just 26. It's back. Sonic the Hedgehog, he's here. Here's what I'll say about Sonic 3D Blast. And by the way, this is obviously a pirated copy. And this is super cool, in my opinion. I saw that, I was like, I don't have really any experience with the game, but I want it. So I bought it, and I have it, and I'm adding it to the shelf. What I want to say is my first Sonic game was 2 for the Genesis, and then I think 3 and Knuckles for the Genesis, and then I think it might have been around the same time I got 2 for the Game Gear, 1 for the Game Gear, you know, all that shit. But I did never get this game as a kid. Like, I have no nostalgia for this. I have no concern whatsoever. One of my friends, though, is telling me, hey, this is a good game. You should probably play it. And I tried it. I thought, this was a couple years ago. I'm like, okay, I don't really feel like I'm going fast. And it's one of those, like, where do I go? What do I do? And then I'm like, dude, I could be playing any other game right now. And I'm bullshitting figuring out where to go. But you know what? This person I talked to said this is good, and I'm going to play it. I'm going to give this a try. So yeah, 3D Blast bootleg. I'm happy. Another Genesis game, the Super 25-in-1. Complete in box again. There's the list of games. So what am I seeing there? Turtles. That would be what, what's the name of it? The Hyperstone Heist. I wasn't that impressed with that game. I'm like, this is like Battle of Red Cliffs. This is what it reminds me of. It's just the same fucking shit over and over and over. I'm like, Battletoads for the NES would be funner than this at this point. If I want this kind of game. Like, you know, Battletoads, it's hard, this and that, I understand. But it's like, at least it's switching up, it's different. There's always new challenges. Turtles is just like over and over the same thing. Streets of Rage, that's a lot of fun. I've almost beat it. I've got to pretty much the final boss, 2 players. Again, any game that's 2-player needs to be played, in my opinion, as 2-player. Because you're missing out on half the experience. It's like having 20 cars show up to a race and being like, hey, let's only race 10 of them. It's like, no, you race all of them. Sonic 1, it's a good game, even though there's no spin dash. My favorite zone would be Labyrinth Zone. What else? Rambo 3, that's kind of fun. I didn't get very far, but it was a fun time. Look at this Pit Fighter. So, anyways, the 25-in-1. And a quick story on when I got this. This came from Canada. I think I paid 25 bucks for it. 25, 30, something like that. And I was just anticipating it. I was excited. And I remember when the package came, I was in such a excited, like, scurry to cut the box open to actually cut my thumb. So I actually cut myself with the scissor, just scrambling like crazy to get this thing open. I really like it. Next we have this, Commando. This is a good game. My honest opinion on it, it's fun. I like the music. I like the label. I mean, this is a pretty nice looking copy. This came from the game store, the town over from here. It's good. My only complaint, again, is it's not two-player. When, these kind of games are always better with a companion on your side. It just introduces that whole element of, like, taking care of each other and just kind of, we're going to get through this, man, It's, one player's good, though. Again, I love the music. I love the idea of it. The stages are fun. I like how you can go down underground and rescue hostages, and the music changes. And I think the music is badass as hell. The only thing is after the 4th level. What is it? After the 4th level, it's damn, my phone's doing this thing here. After the 4th level, it repeats the same shit all over again. So it's like, why couldn't there just be 8 levels instead of 4 and then the same 4 repeat and the same 4 repeat? It's bullshit. Other than that, I love it. Destroy the enemy army. It's like, well, that's pretty unspecific. And they're like, well, what more do you want us to tell you? And it's like, oh yeah. It's like, here's a gun. Just walk forward and shoot everything you see. Destroy, bro. I'm like, oh, all right. Yeah, the 28-in-1. Original game 28-in-1. I like this cool because it's decks. And then you got decks up here on the back. It's kind of more of the same. But it's a unique color. So here's the story on this. It's funny. I went to an internet forum, and this guy had this whole shop set up. And he literally just set it up. It hadn't been there like for months. So he posted this whole shop, like this whole page of games he's got for sale. And at the very top, the first game on the list was this. And from the picture, I thought the cartridge was actually black. So it ended up being maroon. So that's a whole nother layer of bullshit on this story. Which, by the way, I like the maroon more. This is so cool looking, but I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, well, it's coming from freaking Southeast Asia, whatever. I'm like, I should add more to my order. And I did. Man, it's hard talking for this long. I'm like, hey, I got to add more to my order here. So I freaking added like probably 6 or 7 other Famicom cartridges. So I wait like 2 or 3 weeks. It finally shows up. And the box is like ripped open. There's a hole in the side of it. It's all damaged. The carts are all just loose in the box. I'm like, holy shit, they're dirty. Some of them are broken, all taped up. And I was kind of pissed off at first. And then I was more pissed because as I'm looking through the box, this wasn't in there. Like the one game that I bought that I wanted for the whole order was the one that he forgot. So I contact him. I'm like, dude, the one game that I asked you about isn't in the box. Like, how could you forget that? So a couple days later, whatever, I hear from him. He's like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot it. I think there's probably more to that. You might find out here soon. He's like, oh, I forgot it. I'm like, okay, we'll send it. So like a week goes by and I don't hear from him. So I finally hear from him. He's like, okay, I'll hopefully send it in 2 or 3 days. I was sick the last week. Sorry about that. I'm like, damn it. So then he sends it. I wait another like 2 weeks. It shows up and it doesn't work. And it's never worked. I've never put this game in and seen what it actually was, and I was excited because I'm like, original game, 28-1. I'm like, dude, this could be Action 52, like a new, a whole, like an Azure 20-1 or something. This could be all new, and it's never worked, and it was a color I didn't expect, and this is one of my favorite. That's so badass, dude. I love it. Like, it's so cool. It's always going to be part of my collection. Like, that tells a story. This, I actually have to open it. So it's a Nintendo NES cartridge. Konami. Which, this is just a generic box. I'm sure a ton of games came in it. This is the first time I've actually done this on video. Let's see here. So I went to eBay one day and I see this. And I'm thinking, wow, that is cool. 2-in-1. Like, that is a crazy looking Sonic there. And look at Tails. I mean, this is awesome. I have to have it. The shiny gold border and stuff. 2-in-1. And then Alien 3, whatever that is. So I get it. And I'm like, hell yeah, I received what I ordered. The first half of my experience has been pleasant. So I put it in and it's actually mislabeled. This is actually a game called Banana Prince. And they put this sticker over it in a box that has nothing to do with it. So, yeah, this is a total freak show, or a Frankenstein of a game experience. Let's close this up here. It's still cool to have. Like, I like the experience of it, but yeah. Jeez, that got tough. How about this? The 4-in-1 for the Game Boy. Complete in box. This is complete as it gets. It's a little sun faded, but looks pretty good. 4-in-1. So here's what I like about this, is it's a 4-in-1 Game Boy cartridge. You expect multi-carts to kind of have variety, but damn, look how, like, different these all look. I mean, you've got this car, and unfortunately the best part of this picture is covered up with this, which that could have been anywhere. Like, why would you just cover that? Anyways, the car has, like, hands, and it's just waving a flag. I mean, that's cool. Or, sorry, the truck, this, like, kind of rally thing. Blocks. And look at this. He's crying. He's sweating. He's got them in his mouth. So he's, like, going off this conveyor belt, and there's all these blocks falling. And it's like his life depends on catching them. It's like... Yeah, like, that's sweet. Yeah, just follow me. You guys will fly over just like I did. Yeah, come on, do it. Some of them get it, and some of them don't. And a Mahjong game. There's the back.
Yeah.
So, it's cool. Get some kind of stickers on the side. Adds a little character. So, wherever... I forget where I got this or how I got it. Yeah, I should probably play that soon and see what that's all about. Then there's this. The Super Sports 10-in-1 for the Sega Genesis. And you know what? I've actually never played this either. Sorry about this. Like, I was looking through 10 or 20 really cool items to talk about. And I just want to talk about how badass this looks. Like, this is cool. Imagine if you went into a store and there were all these games and then there was just this. It's like, huh. I want that, That's cool. And, just different sports stuff. It's got the tab. Again, complete in box. These usually don't have manuals or any warranty cards or ads or anything. So, cartridge, the case, and the Piper. I mean, it's complete. Should probably show you this. What would I play? If I just put this in, I'd say put on some... NBA basketball. That looks cool. Or Hit the Ice, 2-player. Either of these 2-player sound like probably the best time. So there's that. What else is there? I'm pulling out all this weird stuff, and you're probably like, show me a common game. Like, show me a common game that an average person's seen. How about Contra? This is a good game. and I don't use the 30 lives cheat. I've sat with my girlfriend and played this, and we got about halfway through the game. You know, and then run out of lives, whatever. We do pretty good. Like, once you have this figured out, it's actually a lot of fun. It's intense, but it's a lot of fun. And when we use the 30 lives cheat, we burn right through this game. It was easy. Like, we beat this easy, and we're thinking, okay, the real way is probably the way to go. Because if you were a kid, you probably might not know that cheat. You would just keep retrying it over and over, the actual way you play it. Like, I don't like using cheats in games. I really don't. I like to, even Grand Theft Auto, like, I like to play the game and have to actually find the weapons, and, you know, it's just funner that way. Yeah, Contra, my favorite level is probably, like, the waterfall, or the ice level. I love the music on the ice level. It's funny because this is considered one of the, as far as I know, like, one of the greatest NES games, yet it's relatively short. You know, if you were to compare this to Mario 3, for example, it's like a fraction of the game that Mario 3 is. It's just that every aspect of it is very good. This is an extremely good game, and everybody should have a copy. Next, we can get into, I think I got this and two more. Sonic 3. I have so much to say about this, I wouldn't even know where to start, other than maybe, like, it's this and 3 and Knuckles together. That's probably my third favorite game of all time. Only second to Kirby's Dream Land 2, and then Keen Dreams, or Commander Keen 7. This is my third favorite game of all time with Knuckles. And this happens to be the Mega Hit Series version. It's cardboard, which makes these protectors really nice, because I can actually handle it. I'm not wearing the edges out. It's complete in box. I love this game so much. My favorite stage would probably be, I like Ice Cap. Carnival Night's cool, especially the second half of Carnival Night when there's like that flood and then like the lights go out. I'm like, this is so badass. I love it. So yeah, I mean, it's so cool. It just turns dark, and then it's off to Ice Cap, and then Launch Base, and then if you got 3 and Knuckles, I love Sandopolis. Yeah, hell yeah, man. I love these games, man. This is one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm so excited because this stuff sits in tubs. I don't get to like pull it all out and look at it. Hell yeah. Freaking love Sonic 3. I got this for my birthday. Christmas. Probably when I was, I think in like 5th grade. 5th grade, something like that. It blew my mind, man. It's so good. And I'm just, for the heck of it, going to add this as well. Got the Sonic 3 in the protector. In the extra protector. Got the manual there. I did notice that Genesis games are getting a little spotty. I don't know if you can see that. See those spots there? It's kind of like the glue. My Gunstar Heroes, my Rystar. I mean, a lot of my Genesis games are a little spotty like that. So I don't know. Maybe that's the extent it'll go. But there's parts like that. It's pretty noticeable. But hey, it's practically new condition. I love Sonic 3. I love Angel Island, and then it catches on fire, and then it's down to Hydro City. And then there's a second part of Hydro City. It's got really... The music, by the way, is so good on this game. It's just very well done. And can you guys imagine if this and Sonic and Knuckles really were one game? Dude, that'd be epic. But I think it's even more epic that they have lock-on technology. It's so cool. So yeah, Sonic 3... The second to last game to discuss here. Oh man. It's a game called Faxanadu. I have 2 of them. And I actually have had 3 of them. The third copy I had, I bought it for somebody I know, one of my friends. It's the same one who says that Blast is good. I gotta try this. The third copy, I bought it just to give him, because I heard that he's an NES. He has an NES. He's like younger than me, and he's kind of getting into retro games. I'm like, hell yeah. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to buy you a game that's really good. I went and I bought him a copy of Faxanadu. Like, it's that good of a game, and it's affordable. So here's what I have to say about it. This is my newer copy that I've acquired recently. this about 15 years ago, 10 years ago or something. I was just walking down the street, or maybe I was on my bike, and in the gutter, something caught my eye. And this is a couple blocks from my house here. Something in the gutter caught my eye around the edge of the sidewalk. And I look, I'm like, hey, that's a Nintendo game. And I picked it up, and it was this cartridge. I'm like, huh, I used to have a Nintendo. Cool, I'm going to take it with me, right? So what I did is I took it home, I threw it in a box in my room, and it sat there for over a decade because I didn't have a Nintendo. Well, about 5 years ago, I bought a Nintendo, and it came with Mario 1 and Duck Hunt. And then that's also when I got Iron Tank here. But then I was like, you know what? Isn't there an NES game up there? And I'm like, it doesn't work. I mean, it's a little chipped up. Although the labels are really nice, which that's really what I'm concerned about. I don't care if the cartridge had some scratches or even text. That's like, it's also got a little rattling piece. I don't know if someone threw this and they were mad at it, or if they just dropped it out of their bag. They didn't know, but I put it in, and I think on the first play it worked. The music's good. The experience is good. There's save features, like a password. So, you don't have to... It's not like M.C Kids where I have to sit here 2 or 3 hours hoping I can beat it. This, you can take it a level at a time. You can build up money. You can buy things, get certain items. You can try to kind of rush through the game, or you can just kind of grind and enjoy the townsfolk and stuff, The townspeople, or whatever those alien things are. Go into the different shops, you can buy stuff, you can sell stuff, It's just really cool. And this is under $10. I highly suggest you get it. How far have I got? Well, you're going through these caves and stuff. I think it's probably the second, third kind of part of it, and I'll fight the boss, and then there's nowhere to go, so you backtrack and you go through this door, and something like a little bit after that, I got trapped again, or I don't know, man. I got like 45 minutes into this game, half hour into this game, something like that. It's really good. Here's my original copy I found. I can tell because it's chipped up. And then the new one I bought, just because I'm like, fuck yeah, I like this game. I want more of them. And then finally, the 20th game. And this is also one of my all-time favorite games. I talk about liking a lot of games. I love this game. This game means so much to me. It's called Grand Theft Auto for the PlayStation 1 Black Label version. Where do I even begin with this? Let's check out the back. I bought this copy about 5 years ago, and it's literally complete with the map. If a game like this doesn't have the map, heck, I'll take it off your hands for if it's cheap, whatever, but it's just not the complete experience without the map. When I play these, I have the map out on my lap. I'm marking things and stuff. So where do I even start with this game? Well, first of all, I love this game. I think I was in about 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade. Yeah, and I just saved up my nickels and dimes and dollars and stuff, however I could get it, and I went to Shopko, a couple blocks up the road, and they had the main game aisle, which were all games that were newer or in more demand, and then they had a side aisle. On the side aisle were the kind of clearance items, and this was one of them. Not this copy, but I'll get into my other copies in another video, or heck, I've already mentioned it in one of my songs. In fact, I've already told the story, but yeah, I was looking, and I'm looking on the back, so I'm looking at the different games, and I see this. It's like, okay, wow, I can go anywhere. I can go on police chases. I can just explore this whole town, this whole city. I'm like, this is too good to be true. I don't even know if I want to take the risk on this not being as good as, as badass as this looks, So I didn't buy it. And I remember going to school the next day, and there was a kid at my desk. I think there was 5 of us or 4 of us to each desk. It was like a round table. And, we're talking games, and I'm like, hey, you know about Grand Theft Auto? He's like, hell yeah. He's like, my brother has that. Or his friend, his brother's friend, whatever has it. He's like, that's a damn good game. Get it? I'm like, okay. And I went to Shopko, I bought it, I took it home, and I was like, holy shit, this is good. I really can explore this whole city, and there's all this stuff to do. And then the radio stations and the main theme music. What is it? Go for a Joyride. Like, this is extremely good. You type your name in. I don't know, you're just immersed into the city, and you have to do all these missions and stuff. You know, the map, like, you kind of need the map. And with this game, there is no health meter. So if you get shot once, you're dead. What that means is you have to have armor, you know, to absorb the first shot. Where's the armor? So you have to just search around, and then when you find it, you have to remember or sort of mark on your map where you found it. It's just really good, and the cities are fun to explore. There's 3 of them: Liberty City, San Andreas, and Vice City. I really like San Andreas just because there's like the wooden boardwalk type of things. I like Vice City because of the beaches. I used to, as a kid, go around exploring the beaches. I used to walk around the whole perimeter of the city just trying to find any little thing I hadn't seen yet. You know, every nook and cranny. And I also really like Liberty City. I think it's damn good, honestly. So, this is just one of my all-time favorite games. And one day I just want to sit down and just beat this game. I've almost done it. I've come very close. I just didn't go through with it in the end. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto, it's complete. Got the map. It's all in good condition. And, you know, GTA 2 is good as well. In fact, GTA 2 is one of my favorite games, again, of all time. One thing that was cool was when the PlayStation Classic came out. This was one of the games. People are all talking about, this game selection sucks, right? There's only like 1 or 2 games that are good. I'm like, you better be talking about this as one of the 1 or 2. This game is good as hell. I'm like, dude. Yeah, with that said, I mean, part of me was kind of proud to see it on the compilation. Part of me was kind of concerned that people might not appreciate it. Kind of just burn through it. Like, to me, I didn't just burn through that game like, oh, try it, whatever, what's next? It was like me in this game for months, just exploring everything, doing all the missions. You know, I memorized all the cars, I know all the radio stations. You can also take this CD and put it in a disc player and play the radio stations. Each station is its own track on the, you know, I can play this in a CD player, just the music. So, we're going to add all this to the shelf. I'm really happy with all this stuff. I've been talking, 39 minutes now, so... Yeah, this was Raxa Games Episode 2 with Roose the Roader. Let's go put these on a shelf. Alright, it's time for the final thoughts here. And, you know, I'll probably arrange this all differently later. You know, there's Tier 1, I haven't even sorted that out yet. But, let's do the final thoughts here, get this stuff going. We got what? 12 and 1, the Osama Bin Laden shooter. The Famicom game. Let's stick it with the Famicom games. Battle of Red Cliffs. I hope you guys try this game. Do a 2-player and be ready for a very interesting time. The Genesis game. Stick it with the Genesis games. Maybe we should make sure it's straight. Of course, another copy of Sonic Blast. Just put it with the other copies of Sonic Blast. 4 and 1. You know, I have this also as a loose cartridge. So I have another copy of this that's loose, and maybe I'll play that one of these days. Get a little more familiar with this thing, see what I actually have. And we got Gameboy stuff. I'll probably stick that down here for now. Iron Tank. You know what? To let you guys know how important this game really is to me, and how much I really do like it, and how badly I really want to do defeat the Darkless. It's the first Tier 1 game. Let's make some history here. Sonic 3. That's the non-complete copy. Where was I putting these at? Well, I guess the Genesis stuff's here. Heck. Start in the middle. This isn't gonna work. So I've got a ton of Famicom games. And a ton of Genesis stuff, but like not a lot of stuff like this. So at some point, you know, something's gotta give, right? Commando. It's like, destroy the enemy army. That's all you need to know. It's like, okay. Stick it with that. 2-1 for the Mercs. First game that we looked at. And that's a really fun game. I need to give this another try. Stick that with that. I need to try Pit Fighter too. That's pretty fun. Got the 2 Gameboy Multicarts. Stick that with the handheld stuff. Sonic 3, the Mega Value version. So I'm assuming they made this later on. This is one of the later runs of the game. There's one on eBay that I'm looking at right now that's complete with the actual plastic clamshell. I'm probably going to buy it. It's just been sitting in my cart for like a week now. Should probably get it before someone else does. I want to mention too with video games, here's just something from my experience I want you all to know. When you see something you're interested in, you need to buy it. Don't just think it's going to sit there and it's not going to sell and, I got another 2 days. It'll be there when I get paid. No, you need to figure it out now. Because I could stand here for like a half hour telling you stories where I thought something would be there, or, oh, nobody's looking at it, or, oh, no one's going to bid on it, and then literally I'm outbid. Like, shit just comes out of nowhere, you know? Or a buyer will come out of nowhere. If you want something, get it now. Because there may be no tomorrow. And if you're bidding on something, bid like you want it, dude. Like if this is an eBay auction, don't be all bullshit and just like, oh, I'll give it, you know, no one's interested. No, you need to bid like you're interested. Bid like your life depends on it. Unless it's more than you think the game's worth to you. But no, I just got burned pretty bad the other day. Super Sports 10-1. Or I stick that with the Genesis Multicarts. Let's see. You got Banana Print, which is labeled as a 2-in-1 with Sonic and Alien 3. That is boxed in a generic Konami box. Stick it with the NES stuff. 28-1. So badass. I love it, dude. I love this console cartridge. Because it tells such a story, yet has produced so little of game. Four and one. What can I say? There's 4 games and there's 1 cartridge. And it's green. Got the 8-in-1. Really digging it. Yeah, it's missing that thing on the inside, but I got the game, I got everything else. And I guess we had a handheld section here. Sonic 3D Blast. Hell to the F, yeah. The pirated version. Look, no Genesis, no this, no that, no anything, you know. I love it, dude. This is so cool. Wish I had 50 of them, man. I make a whole throne of just pirated Sonic 3D Blast complete in box games. That'd be cool. Just so you guys know, if I'm going to make a throne out of anything, I'm making a throne out of Rockman 8 Gameboy cartridges. Super 25-in-1. Remember cutting my finger with those scissors. I was so excited to open this. And it's from Canada. But it's most likely from Asia, ultimately. M.C Kids, I'll probably never play it again, because I'm not trying to search around for some fuck-ass Ronald cards. I'm an adult. I got better shit to do than wander around like a dumbass, you know? Trying to help some clown with some bullshit. Fuck you. We got Contra. An amazing game. There's nothing I really need to say that hasn't been said. Right? I mean, this has been reviewed, God, like dozens of times. I had an amazing time with it, and I'll be playing a lot more of this. Faxanadu, my 2 copies, do a new one, just to kind of play and have fun with, whatever. And then the original, is this the original? The bottom one's the original, actually. One that rattles inside. Oh man, it's such a good game. Stick it with the NES stuff. And finally, again, one of my favorite games ever. It's Grand Theft Auto, man. I love it. I want to mention something else about this game I didn't say earlier. You know, normally with Grand Theft Auto, you can save your game, right? Just when, you know, you can pop in, maybe do a mission or two, save. This, not so easy. There's 3 cities, and each city is divided into 2 pieces. So there's like 2 halves. You have to beat the whole half in order to save. So if I'm going to sit down and play this, I better be ready to play an hour, at least an hour, just to be safe. It could be a 3-hour experience. And you need to find armor, because you can only get, I think when you get 5 lives. This is a hard game at certain times, and some of the missions are crazy. It'll lead you into alleyways with guys shooting at you with machine guns, and if you get hit once, you're dead. Think about that. Oh, but you have to get in there and steal something, or do this or that, or run them over, trying to blow you up. And again, the lack of health, the lack of weapons, the lack of... This is like real life, almost. And as a kid, I enjoyed it, and I still enjoy it. One of these days, we're going to beat this game. And there actually is no PlayStation area, so we'll probably just do some, like, this type of stuff. You know what? This is one of my favorite games of all time. We're putting it on tier 1 along with Iron Tank. Hell yeah. So here's my game collection as of now. Roose the Roader, this is episode 2. And you know, this is getting really long, so I'll let you guys go. Still haven't got to tier 0. We will. We'll see. And that's it for now. So thanks for watching. It's Roose the Roader, Racks of Games 2. Let's end it.